All right, all right, all right. Welcome to GUFON, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is July 9th, 2021. It's Friday. The year that is halfway done is just getting better and better, and it's great. I can't help but be in this crappy mood today. I'm just in an angry mood. Now, I wasn't in a bad mood until recently. Just sometimes people don't know when to stop. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want to tell you, but I can't. There's no reason to, that's why. But you know when you tell somebody, all right, I won't do that anymore, and then they continue, and they're like, yeah, but da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da. And I said, I know. That's why I'm not going to say it, and I'm not going to do that anymore. And then they're like, yeah, but da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, why are you poking the bear here? I already said I'm not going to do it anymore. End of story. That's 2 times now. You keep coming back to me. Well, let's end this conversation. One of those, you know? It's like enough already. You know, once I say I'm going to do something, you don't need to keep telling me to stop doing it. And that, you know, your situation, I really can't tell you. No, I can. I just choose not to. But you would be surprised. You would be surprised. Anyway, the annoying person, I had to send back a very angry text. And that's where I was 5 minutes ago. So I had an ad starting the show 5 minutes later than I usually do. So welcome to the show. You made it. It's Friday, the end of the work week, right? Now we're rolling into the weekend. Oh, this is beautiful. My Suns are up 2-0, looking for their first NBA championship. Can't be happier. CP3, Booker, those guys are going to do it. I think they're going to sweep Milwaukee. It's going to be a great Sunday and then Wednesday, and then we have our first championship. I've waited. The Suns came around when I was born, exactly 53 years ago. So they never won a championship, and they're on their way. It's very exciting. So we'll see what happens. Somebody in Discord, I tell you, this Discord place, I mean, it is full of information. I can't believe all of the links that people drop. It is phenomenal. I can't believe it. I can't believe all the information. So somebody drops a link. Let me pull it up to a show. And the guy is Paul Bagley. Now, I thought I know a Paul Bagley Jr. So I'm wondering if this is the Paul Bagley Jr. without the junior. I don't know, but I'm going to pull him up. And I'm not sure if this is the name of the podcast, or yeah, it is actually. Is it?
Every year we see
he's got 348,000 subscribers. And then I saw some other say, well, this is like Rich. This guy, or Rich is like this guy. So I clicked on it because I saw, and somebody sent me a link as well. You got to watch this. Breaking aliens at Fukushima, Japan. So I clicked on it, and I wanted to see who I apparently look like, or not look like, or what my show is like. And I'll pull it up here. And I was a little bit upset because I don't want to be this. And if I'm getting to this point, if this is me, kill me now. I'd rather die. I'd rather die. Now you're going to see this and you're going to be like, why? What's so bad about this guy? I don't know, but I don't like it. I don't want to be like this. So if I'm this guy.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? What? UFOs at Fukushima. Aliens at Fukushima. Guys.
If that's me, I'd rather die. Seriously. If that's going to be me, I mean, maybe it is. He's in Florida, but he does have 350,000 subscribers. He's doing something right. I don't get it.
This isn't the first time that anywhere there's some serious radiation, UFOs or unidentified aerial phenomenon has happened.
I was going to do a giveaway tonight, but I'm not. We may do that Sunday instead. I may do those type of shows on Sundays. I took it out tonight because I want to get things squared away with Tina, and I want to make sure we're on the same page. So that is not happening tonight. I took it out of the description minutes before the show started. So if you were looking forward to that, sorry, but I'll if she messages me back, I did send her an email. I just had one question before I went any further with that, because I'm not understanding what the giveaway might be exactly. So tonight, though, we are going to spend some time, the whole show, because I don't feel great. And for me to do a show, I thought this might be a good idea. And today I was talking to Dr. J Radio Live, and he had called, needed some help getting Lou Elizondo to make sure he worked the camera and all that for StreamYard. And he brought it up. And he said, you played a portion of my show where it was the most horrible or the worst abduction story ever. He says, you can play it. You can play it in its entirety. I'm like, oh, shit. Well, maybe that's what I'll do tonight. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And I was going to break in every 15 minutes, every 10, 15 minutes. And I was going to do the, name the names of the people who were in the giveaway and all that, but that probably won't happen. So, yeah. Yeah. Tina emailed me earlier. I emailed her 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago. And just didn't know what the giveaway would be. I'm not sure if we're giving away 1 or 2 or 3 things, or is it the same thing? Last time I screwed it up, so I don't want to screw it up. So we'll do that Sunday probably. I just didn't see the email until before the show, unfortunately, or get back to her before the show. Some of you have sent me some interesting stuff to look at. Remember, dots are not something I can verify. Okay? Just remember that. If it's a dot and Third Phase of Moon didn't get back to you, or I didn't play it on the show, it's because it's a dot. Dots are no good. You go to Third Phase of Moon, you look at the stuff that they post, we want that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Something that has a shape, it looks like something, we're not sure if it's real, fake, CGI, whatever. Dots are dots. They're all round, and they're all far away, or they're not focused in 100%. Don't care about those. I'll give you a reply, but I can't play them on the show. I'll try to reply, but it's not always. Yeah. All right, roll call, everybody. William Koff, your mother's ass. I don't know. Ever since it's been raining a lot, how I walk outside the door, flies come in. They hover around the door day and night, just waiting for that door to open. I know that's what they're doing because I don't have any other door to go out of. Well, I could, but I don't. You know what I mean? And then I come home and I'm looking around the door and I'm like, look at all those little motherfuckers. They're everywhere. And then I spray it, with the bug spray. And 2 days later, there they are again. So every now and then you'll say, it's because freaking little tiny gnats like that big. You know what it is? The front door that I have, it sucks. And I think we're remaking it. So when you walk up, you have 3 little stairs. I mean, they made this so you can't carry groceries and open the door. The door's got to be closed. And then if you put your groceries down, you got to leave the door open. And that's how all this shit comes in. The hell? Holy mackerel. What? What? Hold on. I know we started roll call, but it got interrupted. I don't know what's wrong with me. I shouldn't be drinking this stuff, but I am. It's my life. If I want to die painful life, that's my life. $50 for Tim Tintin. $50. Holy crap. Tim. Super mucho generoso, senorito. You know, I'm trying to contain my attitude. You know, when I start the show, the adrenaline kicks in just a little bit, and I start to feel a little bit better, and I start feeling my oats, and then I realize, nah, you don't have that kind of energy. I'm just Tim, that is just above and beyond. Thank you. Right back to the wait, what? Mucho Generoso goes back into the road trip fund. Super Generoso. And a continuing supporter, Tim Tinson. That is a $20. And by the way, Tim, welcome to the show. And a $20 super chat from MST3K1. Wow, you guys are crazy already, right out the gate. Thank you, man. That's like freaking super generous. And that's funny, those damn gnats. And I'm glad you spelled it correctly. Welcome to the family. You know, gnats are not just NATS, just in case you're wondering. Just like truth is TRUTH, not FE. So thank you, MST3K1, for the $20 super chat. Mucho super generoso for the road trip. So I got to get out of this mood. How do I do it? I mean, I'm partaking. I've got the partake right here. Like, you guys can't see it, but it's in here. See, this is the, it's in here. It's a green lid. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Tape. That is tape on it. That's the, oh, it just fell off. Oh, I guess it wasn't tape. What is that? I don't know. Anyway, we'll be partaking while the movie's playing. Oh! By the way, MST3K1, Super Generoso, welcome to the show. So, grazie. That bell you just heard was for Ash Dobbs with a $10 super chat. Finished story about the guy who died in a bathtub with cuts on his fingers. Oh, yeah. I have to find that. That was a couple of days ago, right? Uh-oh. I know what that sound was. Hold on. Let me see if I'm right. Oh! You guys are absolutely insane. Ash Dobbs, thank you for the $10 super chat. The guy who died in the bathtub with cuts on his fingers. Yeah. He shit, I can't remember why that happened. I'll look for the video and I'll try to play it before I do the show. If I can't find it, I'll look for it. I probably will. I can't remember. But thank you very much, Ash Dobbs. I'll look it up in a minute as soon as I'm done with this next thing. And thank you for the $10 super chat. Mucho super generoso. Right into the road trip fund. So grazie. And I hope I get the name right. Carl Ezel. Is it Ezel? With a $20 PayPal donation. Thank you very much. We haven't even started the show. 100%. Yeah. Oh, wait, what? Wait, what? Thank you very much, Carl. I don't, since you didn't do it in the chat, it just gets the bell and no visual, but thank you very much. And welcome to the show. Ash Dobbs, welcome to the show as well. Wreaking Havoc 215 with a $10 super chat. Goofonians, let's all partake together, shall we? Let's do that together. I'm down. Hold on, let me cover my Red Bull. We are gonna re-up the one hit wonder right here. All this flour. Wreaking Havoc. You know you didn't have to do that. Super generoso, Mr. Wreaking Havoc. So 215. But it was a good cause because I am now partaking. And hold on. Well, I got to give a blank screen for this one. All right. All right. It worked. Shh. Huh? Oh, okay. I'm good. All right. Wreaking Havoc with the bonus round. We all partake together. Let's have a happy time now, shall we? I don't even know if I should play this movie now. I'm like in too good of a mood. Hey, welcome to the show, Wreaking Havoc. Karen, the good twin. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Wreaking Havoc. That really super generoso, everybody. Welcome to the show. Hey, what is this? What? Truth Seeker 101 with a $5 super sticker. All right. And you guys are like unbelievable. What are you guys doing? You gonna break it? It's gonna break. Thank you very much. It's a super sticker. I want to see what it looks like. It's gonna break. Thank you very much. It's a super sticker. I want to see. Why was that on? Super sticker is. It's a working out with dumbbells pair saying keep it up. I don't get to see that on StreamYard. StreamYard, I just get to see, and then it says super sticker. You know, why don't they show me? I don't like that. StreamYard's weak lately. You know what I mean? Thank you. Very super generoso, Truth Seeker. Thank you. Mucho. Grazie. Right into the kitty for the road trip. Absolutely. And welcome to the show. Area 503, welcome to the show. It did look good on the chroma key, yeah? JP Besson, yo, welcome to the show. Eggneck Face, welcome to the show. Damien Smokey, welcome to the show. Misty Yossi Dragoons, welcome to the show. Yes, very nice. Humboldt Life 707, welcome to the show. X1, welcome to the show. William Ka, welcome to the show, mate. Paul Tavares, welcome to the show. By the way, Mr. Hi-ho, it's Kermit the Frog here. Can you do Miss Piggy? No, but I can. Paul Tavares, welcome to the show. Oh, Kermit! Hi, Miss Piggy. It's pretty good. I didn't want you to see me do the face. Sky Allen, welcome to the show. Salem Suganate. Suganati. What's the smell? A good time. Welcome to the show. Gigi, Abby Lynn, welcome to the show. Mario UFO, welcome to the show. Chuck Bram with an angry face. Of course it is. It's all in his space. Red Panda, welcome to the show. Betty Double Kick Chick, welcome to the show. Metalhead, welcome to the show. Jose Sanchez, welcome to the show. Miss Jamie, you're here too, so welcome to the show. Dan Bub, welcome to the show. Bad Boy Channel, welcome to the show. Willie Barraza, welcome to the show. STOC Dragons again, welcome to the show again. Felicia Flores, welcome to the show. Stavro, welcome to the show. Life Dweller, welcome to the show. Off-World Adam, welcome to the show. Rebecca with a $20 PayPal super chat. It's not, well, it really. $20 dropped into PayPal. Thank you very much, Rebecca, wherever you are. She's like I see Rebecca as like a little angel on my shoulder. Thank you, and grazie. Mucho generoso grazie on the PayPalski. Tomas Robert, welcome to the show. All right, let's get going. Jill Delight, welcome to the show. AMPM, welcome to the show. Gianuzzo, welcome to the show. I see you there. Gordon Stroop, welcome to the show. Didn't forget, did I? Just like soup. News Nebraska, welcome to the show. What are we watching tonight? We are watching the most awful abduction experience. This gentleman is, I guess he's like in LA, like a gang member, one of those. And what do they call them? Cholos? Whatever a cholo is, I don't know. What's a cholo? Right? That's who's telling this story. So his face, everything was, we don't get to see who, and we don't know his real name. But the story, and the reason it is that way, because his buddies, his gang members, I guess, they don't really look, they don't like that type of talk, I guess. So he feels like people will make fun of him. He'll be, ostracized from the gang community? But Dr. J, in all of his giving ways, is allowing me to play that. And I did say I was going to look for, just to answer your question, News Nebraska, this guy had the worst experience. He was shown when he's going to die, and he chooses not to tell his family. The aliens actually showed him what it's like to die. That's the story. Ballin, welcome to the show. Kingfish Kebab, welcome to the show. All right, let's get started. If I didn't see you, orders to go. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. What's up, Dark Sky? Reesh. Let's get started again. What's up, Threx? Box. Yo. Suh. Really? Am I going to be this guy? Hey, B. Baker, what do you say? How do you say? What Star Trek Traveler, I was going to say. Stargate Traveler, welcome. What just happened? Why did it get colorful? Guys, phenomenal. Mr. Catfish for $10 says thank you, and I don't know why. From the emails? The emails? Thank you very much for the super chat. Oh, I did? Betty Double Kick Chick? Oh, I didn't mean it. How did it goes so fast? Sorry, Betty Double Kick Chick. I got it. I got to it. It was the last one. That's as far as I could go backwards. Thank you so much. Thank you, Betty Double Kick Chick. I feel awful. I missed that. Thank you, Misty, for letting me know about that. And I'll get to the other ones here. She says, I have to join in on the Generosos. Thank you. Oh, you guys are awesome. Right into the road trip. Who's next? Let's see. Man, they don't let me go back that far, but that was, where is oh, here we go. Mr. Catfish, we got you. Okay, $10. And Misty says you missed a $10 super chat from Betty Double Kick Chick. All right. Thank you for the $5, Misty OC Dragons and Mr. Catfish 2100. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. That's going right into that road trip fun, man. Very cool. This is going to be one hell of a road trip. Making it very, very comfortable for me. Thank you. And welcome to the show with a 99-cent super sticker. Super generoso, mucho gusto. Welcome to the show, so Lee. We've got a couple of Lees in here. First Floor Audio, and welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Grazie, grazie. What are you guys doing to me? This is unbelievable. No, man, you're awesome. The angels know it, brother. Well, that was really nice of you to say. Thank you very much for that. Super chat, $2 super chat. Awesome, man. That's huge. Thank you so much. And the Rex Box. Did you listen to O&A back in the day? Really digging the show. Opie and Anthony? Of course. Not as much as Howard Stern. I was a Howard Stern fan first, and if I had time, I would listen to Opie and Anthony, of course. These guys were awesome. Matter of fact, I haven't listened to Howard Stern, and this is bad of me because I have Sirius. I have it for free for life. Don't ask. Well, I bought it. I went on eBay, and you can get Sirius for life by buying the ones that they advertise with. So if you go into a store and they're playing it, that's the one I get. And usually they have years and years of that membership in there. And I still have mine since 2005. Yeah, Howard came on in 2006. Thanks, Threxbox. $10 walking down the memory lane super chat. I love those. Thank you very much. Glad you're digging the show. We haven't even started. Well, we have. I mean, my goodness, but you know what I mean. PayPal, super chat, super stickers. Guys, I know what you're trying to do. I was in too bad of a mood to cry. I'm not going to cry. Is Dr. Greer here? Show me how. Show me how. Mr. Greer. Once you're a doctor, are you always a doctor for life? Like once you're president, are you know how they keep calling you president when you're not in office? Is that the same with doctors? I don't see why. Oh my God. Hold on. I got to block somebody from Twitter. You know what? Screw it. Let him dig his own hole. I want to tell you, and I'm about to tell you what's going on, but I'm not. There he goes again. The advertising came on. Mary Young Sliwa? $100 super chat. Oh my God. That is just like, I know what you're trying to do. Let me turn this off because this person just doesn't know when to stop. And he's doing it on purpose because I'm on the show. He wants me to talk about him, but I won't. Mary Young Sliwa, thank you so much. That is, the ultimate in, I don't know, man. You're killing me. Thank you so much. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I can say. Thank you. Super generoso. Like, everybody tonight. Thank you. That's crazy when I see that. I don't know. It's like, for somebody you don't even, you know what I mean? Yeah. Am I going to be this? Is this what I'm going to be? Am I going in this direction?
And Fukushima.
Am I going that direction? Please, God, no. Uh, thank you, Mary Young Sliwa. I hope I'm saying it right. Thank you. $100. See? We got to start this movie. Once the movie, no, I'm not. I don't get high. I never get high. Don't say that. That's not true. It's buzzed. If I got high, I wouldn't be able to do the show. I don't know. I've never been that way. So I don't know. I don't do that stuff. Yeah, I don't do that. Thank you very much, Mary Young Sliwa. Super generoso, right into the super chat road trip fun. Thank you. Appreciate it. Tim, the only reason I say that because Dr. Greer cried on his last 3 documentaries. I find it to be very genuine. I don't think he's faking, but some people do. And I've been known to not, I've never cried on the show, but I've gotten very emotional and I had to turn the camera off. But that was when my dog died. Oh, that was the worst week ever. Still is to this day. All right. You guys are really killing me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Like from the bottom. I thought there was another one for $5 that I just, did I not? It is. Hold on. It goes for the last super chat. Wreaking Havoc 215 with a $5 super chat. I was going to say something else, but thank you very much. I'm like all off my game right now, man. I'm like all off. You guys are surprising the Shiite Muslim out of me. I got somebody who's still bugging me. Can't let shit go. Oh my God. And then we still got the show to do. And I still have to look for Ash Dobbs about the guy who cut his fingers up. I can't remember. Wreaking Havoc, thank you very much. Right back at you, Slick. Mucho super generoso. And Mr. Catfish 2100 super chats for our friend Rich. Another $2 super chat goes right into the bucket and to the road trip fund. Thank you very much. Super generoso. You know, maybe if I had my voice, I would be like, I'd do different voices for these, but obviously I can't. Brianna Cole, welcome back. How you doing? What is that? What did I see? Is there a Twitter UFO Young Gun here? They're welcome. Young Guns are welcome here. Okay. Another $2 super chat from Mr. Catfish 2100. Don't leave me out. I can super chat too. I didn't leave you out. I got you the last one you did. Thank you. Even Jerkin McGurkin is noticing. I know. I just wanted to say Jerkin McGurkin. Wait, what? Oh. Oh. Well, this is nice. And a $10 super chat. That's the guy Carl who sent the $20 super chat or PayPal earlier. He says, it's me, Carl. It's me, Mario. That's what I think that. Maybe I am high, Stu. No, I'm not. Do I dare look? Is that my Twitter friend? Hey, Rich, it's me, Carl. Sent you a PayPal earlier. Found you on Third Phase. And of course, came to your show. Great job, man. Thank you, Carl, who goes by Easy E. Oh, you're Easy E021. I remember yesterday's show. Thank you very much. $10 super chat. $30 tonight. Thank you so much, dude. It's beyond generoso. And I see it looks like you are a Minnesota Vikings fan, if that's the right colors I see there. I always liked Minnesota for some reason. Thank you very much, man. Super generoso. I'm laughing because I just saw this. Ash Dobbs says, don't worry about finding the dead guy in the tub. He ain't going anywhere. That's so funny. When I read it real quick, I thought it said, it ain't going anywhere. Yeah, I was laughing at that too. Right back into the road trip fund, Ash Dobbs. Ash Dobbs, thank you very much. Everybody, on a super generoso scale, thank you very much. And I think there's one more that came in while I was... No? Yes. Oh, boy. Yeah. Hold on. Let me see who this is. Hey. I know this guy. $5.25. I'll just say it because it's a PayPal. I won't use the whole name. But I think that's... My memory's gone, guys. I'm dead. I'm dead in my brain. Where is it? I'm trying to find the actual transaction. Well, that goes to Dusty Plastics. And yeah, thank you very much for that. Super generoso on the PayPal. Ash Dobbs, thank you too. Everybody super generoso tonight. So thank you, really, Dusty. I think that's Nathan, right? Isn't that Nathan? Thank you, man. Appreciate that. I'm losing my voice. What is this? $5, another $5 from Mr. Catfish, 2100. I can't put it up on the screen. It's already too late, but it says, good luck in your endeavors. I only hope we can be there with you during all the discoveries, my good friend. It's not only the discoveries, it's the people that we're going to be hanging out with, which is very exciting. And thank you again, Mr. Catfish 2100, for another super chat. Yeah, Mr. DB Cooper is MIA. He's supported the show plenty. But I do miss seeing him. And I think he was here last night. Mr. DB Cooper's the bomb. Probably, like, you wouldn't meet a nicer person, you know. Not that I met him face to face, but someday maybe. Is he in California? If he is, I'd like Dark Hour, do you know? I'd like to meet him. He donated a Nikon P900 to me. I love that camera. I use it all the time. Wait until you see what it did someday. Really? And I'm going to be this guy. This is who I'm going to be.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? What? UFOs at Fukushima. Aliens at Fukushima. Guys, this isn't the first time.
You know, I don't mind, but don't force the fake. You know, you got to be really excited in my book. I don't like people who fake force their excitement. He's a fake forcer. Fake forcers are disingenuous. I almost said ingenuous, like a Roach Moch hotel. All right, so this is a video that I look. I mean, I don't have to play the video, but I'm going to. It's about it's an interview. It's an hour and a half. Man, I didn't think it was an hour and a half. I thought it was an hour. But I have to play it because I said I would. You know what we'll do? You know what we'll do? We'll see how it goes. That's what we're going to do. Because I've only done this one time, and that was with the Dr. Greer movie. But because I didn't really feel that well, and I didn't know how I would feel at this time. And look, I'm thinking about starting the show 3 hours earlier at 7 p.m. Eastern. Would that bother you? Would that be bad for you guys? I'm going to sit here for a minute and tell me if that's a bad idea. I know for you, but if it is, let me know, because these late hours are killing me. I get done with the show, it's midnight, 12:30. And then sometimes I like to, I make videos for Third Phase UFO Report. And the reason I haven't been, because I really haven't been feeling well. And it's not easy for me to sit in front of a computer. You know, when you don't feel well, it sucks to force yourself to be focusing on shit. So I'm thinking about starting 3 hours earlier. 7, perfect time. You wouldn't mind it. Not good for Tim. Tim, you're in another country, right? 7 p.m.'s good. Fine by me, but I'm Australia. Anytime's fine. You need to get proper rest. It's up to you. We'll be here. I'm reading all your stuff. All good. The normal time is 3 a.m. for John. So that would be midnight for you. That's good. Excuses, AM, PM says. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Good with me, GUFON. I don't know how you stay up all night. I don't. GG, I fall asleep in just watching TV, or I fell asleep driving. Yeah, it was 3 a.m. and I was stuck at a light that took forever to turn left. But I wasn't high, right? And I don't drink alcohol because I hate it. It's disgusting. I was just tired. I would watch anytime. Funny guy, Seth 5749. Just do it and see how it goes. Not a bad idea, Den Bub. Diarrhea Awareness Week runs till Friday. That's gross, but funny. Eggneck face. Who said that? First floor? Oh, Off-World Adam. There it is. It's a good one. Anytime. Oh, you're in Ohio, Tim? Okay. I don't know why I thought you were in another country. UWU. Dan, I already have a PayPal account. Yeah, I got 3 donations. Yeah. The link's in the description and also on the homepage of GUFON. All right, so it seems pretty good. I may do that when I get back from the road trip. That's when I might. And if I do that, it would probably be starting August. Let's just say that. It's only the 9th? Yeah, August 1st might be a good day. All right. I'm afraid to try it, but let's try it. August 1st, we'll start 3 hours earlier. That was my intentions when I moved to Florida anyway, because that's when I started my show in Phoenix at 7 p.m., 10 Eastern, but 7 p.m. Phoenix time. I got to get back to that, man. I really could, because then this way I can do the show and do Third Phase UFO Report. Shit, maybe I'll just start next Sunday. No, not this Sunday. Maybe Monday. All right. I'd like to start as soon as possible. Let's just do this. Starting next Sunday, 2 days. We're going to start 3 hours earlier. Is that a bad move? It'll only take 1-2 days for people to figure it out. Just for the week, we'll try it out. Because the week after, I'll be in California. Let's give it a try. Yeah. No? When we get back? Yeah, we're going to do it Sunday. 7 o'clock. 10 Eastern. No, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. All right. We're going to start this movie. It's an interview. Dr. J interviews a guy. I say it that way because I don't know. What's a cholo? I don't know. Do it, Reek and Havoc says. Wreaking havoc with a $3 super chat just to say, do it now, go, do it Sunday. I can't do it. I don't know why I'm doing Arnold. It's not even an Arnold. I don't know what that was. That was Arnold's brother, Donald Schwarzkopf. Thank you, Wreaking Havoc. Super generoso, mucho gusto, generoso, into the road trip funso. All right. You ready? This is one of the... Now, if a super chat comes up, I'm only going to be able to post it on the screen. I won't be able to interrupt. So think about that. But I will post it on the monitor for everybody to see. I just won't be ringing bells or interrupting the docu. What are we doing? An interview here? It's an interview. Dr. J Radio Live with full permission. Dr. J Andy Ilias. All rights reserved. And maybe Sunday in 2 days when we do go 3 hours earlier, I will be in touch with Tina and we'll figure out exactly what this giveaway is going to entail. All right. I give you Dr. J. Andy Ilias and probably the worst abduction in the history of that we know. Actually, what was the worst abduction? You think the worst abduction ever was probably Caveman? He probably liked it. I think Caveman would have loved to be abducted. No? All right, I'm dropping the beat.
We have an unidentified flying object.
I'm Jack Oswald, and you're listening.
This is Hudson Hammond, and you're listening to...
I'm Richard C. Hoagland, and you're listening to... I'm Art Bell,
Richie.
and you're listening to Dr. J Radio Live.
We have an unidentified flying object.
Oh, my bad. You're talking to me or not.
Welcome back to another very special episode of Dr. J Radio Live. Before we get started with one of the craziest, most shocking, and damning abduction cases, I never really throw these phrases around as in my favorite cases. As you guys have all known, guys and gals, I've been doing this for a long time. This happens to be 9 years this month when I actually started interviewing people, and I've been paying attention to these topics at least 37 years. I've heard hundreds, probably in the thousands of cases of alien abductions, and this is absolutely the one that shocked me the most. And another thing too, let me say this to everybody. You will only hear this here. The only other place you've heard it in the past would have been when I interviewed him several years ago. So you are definitely in for a treat because this isn't something you're going to see on History Channel. It's not a typical Travis Walton type of case. This is wholly original. So without further ado, and because it's sort of incognito, we're going to be calling him Ricky G. So with that being said, let me introduce back. It's been a long time. My dear friend, the one and only Mr. Ricky G. Mr. G, welcome back.
What's up, DJ? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to have you back. It's been a long time in the making.
Yeah, over 5 years since I talked to you, I believe.
That's right.
On interview-wise.
Yeah, I think it's, 5 years since I talked to you last, and then even longer. I think it was about 6 years, 2015, the last time I had you on. Regardless, it's been all too long, and there's a lot new audience that, for the most part, haven't heard anything prior to what I did in 2018, since a lot of the audience joined in 2018 since I was gone for 2 years. So real quick, let me just say this to everybody so I could say this now and not have to repeat it during the show. And hopefully a couple people in the chat will repeat these messages throughout this interview. Please remember to subscribe if you are not subscribed. Also, share this video, hit the thumbs up. Those three things help my analytics push these videos up front to be suggested. Otherwise, they become buried in YouTube and no one hears them. If that's the case, then why the hell am I even here? Also, leave a comment. It doesn't even matter if it's a one-letter comment after the stream is over. That too aids in the analytics. And of course, super chats. Not only do you help support me and hopefully bring me back to monetization, but more importantly, keep this channel from becoming deplatformed. I'll say a few more things at the end, But now it's important that we get into the substance of this shocking interview. Now, Ricky, let's take you back. First of all, tell us the year that this incident that we're going to talk about happened.
The very first one's like early '88.
Okay. Now, this is the one where you woke up before your work. That's the one I wanted to talk to?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's bring people back to about 4 or 5 in the morning. You had a job that you had to get up literally before the sun came up every morning, right?
Right.
So what was different about this particular morning?
Well, I had to be up like about 4 or 5, so I really don't know the exact time it happened, but it had to be before that. So I don't know when it happened, but it was like sometime the night before. I usually went to bed like 8 o'clock because I had to wake up early and I wanted to make sure I got my sleep. So that's in between 8 in the morning and about 4:30, 5 o'clock.
What woke you up? I mean, was it your normal time that you would wake up? Is it an alarm clock?
No. Well, first of all, I didn't know I woke up. I didn't know anything that was going on. I live in apartments, and dogs woke me up. If you remember that part,
I do.
Dogs barking. It was dogs barking, and I thought they were in my apartment, but I wasn't in my apartment. I was actually walking down the street in my neighborhood, and dogs in the neighborhood were barking at me, and that's why I woke up. And like I said, I'd rather you just ask me questions about it instead of me telling the stories. So a lot of people think it's rehearsed and stuff.
Yeah, it really, and it's not. And I'm here to vouch that it's not. If everybody's curious how I actually found Ricky, it was actually ironic. I had seen an interview, and he, because of his job, family, etc., and wants to remain anonymous, you were in, if I'm not mistaken, in shadow, and your voice was distorted. And then it stuck in my mind. And then I ran into, I was working with Yvonne Smith and Ciro. And then, sure enough, somebody knew you and put me in touch with you. And then the rest is history. So, folks, this is not rehearsed anything but. Okay, so dogs woke you up, which obviously you would not expect dogs to be barking, when everyone's asleep, because they should be asleep unless something's disturbing them. Now,
right, I thought they were in my apartment.
That's how loud they were barking, right?
Yeah, and I woke up in the middle of the street. And I got to let you know that it took me like 10, 15 years to get this whole story because I remembered it in pieces throughout my life. And it came to me in backwards order, like the first thing. Then I remembered something in the middle. And then it just was in a weird little order.
Now,
so I ended up putting it together later.
So, and this is typical with UFO abduction cases, specifically because it's buried in your subconscious. Now,
right.
So you woke up and you were in the middle of the street. Then what happened?
All I can do is control my eyeballs.
So you were essentially a robot with vision.
I'm not going to say that, but yeah, I had no control. The only thing I could use is my eyeballs to see where I was going and what I was doing. I couldn't stop. I couldn't scream. I couldn't do anything.
Now, you were taking to a park, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No, it's like in my neighborhood. I live in a city, but they had like a nature preserve where they don't build anything. Mm-hmm. They just leave it alone. And I went to this little bridge. And after the dog thing, I blacked out again. Then I woke up and I was on one knee and my other hands were on my other knee, like I was posing. And again, I was looking everywhere else but straight ahead. It was like I was a tripod. And I was looking all over, and then I finally looked straight, and it was like through trees, and it was a perfect little view I could see. And I saw what I thought was a shed with two guys standing by it, but it wasn't. It was like, keep going or
yeah. So tell me what you thought the two guys. What made you think they were human? First of all, well, then again, I would think that if you never experienced anything before that, you would not think they're anything but human.
Right.
So
and that's why I thought it was a shed too. I didn't think it was what it was. You know what I mean? So I just thought two guys were standing on the side of the shed that was open. But then I blacked out again. And then the next thing I remember I saw was like a black pearl shaped ball, about as big as a shed that you would put like lawnmowers in and stuff.
And this was, in hindsight, the ship, right?
I guess you could call it that. It's what took me to where we went.
So what's the next memory you had?
Again, I just assumed that it was two guys, so I didn't really look at those guys. And I couldn't control myself, so I actually just walked in the ball. It was like a black pearl ball, and it was pretty small. So I went in there, and again, I went on my knees again, and then they came in after me.
Was there a door that opened up, a ramp that came out?
I don't remember a ramp, but I know it was a door, like a square door, and I just walked in it. You know, something I wouldn't have done if I can control myself, you know.
Someone made a comment here that it's not shocking. Well, hang by, folks. What's going to be shocking is what happens very soon as you start.
And that's why I really don't tell my story too much, because like I'll take it to my grave. I really don't care what people think. You know what I mean?
That is another reason I like this. And just so everyone knows, I had to pull his teeth out literally to agree to do this. Even the first time, he did not want to tell the story. And like when he said he wants to take it to the grave, he means that. He would rather never say this again. And this is exactly why you're not seeing a picture of him.
And I had a YouTube channel with over like about 500,000 views, and then I just ended up taking everything off. Everything is all my videos, original videos that you saw, are on my Facebook.
And near the end, I'm going to have you plug that in, of course. Now,
sure.
So how many beings were on board this ship?
Including me, 3.
Now, were they typical grays, 3.5 foot tall, or did they look anything different?
I met 3 different species, and these ones were they were like up to my armpit.
Okay, so approximately 4.5 feet, I'm guessing.
Man, I'm only 5'4", so whatever my armpits are.
Okay, so possibly a 3.5 foot.
Yeah, they were small. They were really small, and I didn't look at them, but immediately I asked them where they were taking me.
And what was the answer that you got?
They told me to the back of the moon.
Okay, now here's another important part I want to tell everyone. When you were inside, still it was dark outside because this is pre-sunrise, right?
Right.
Was the inside of this black pearl illuminated?
No.
Now, were you able to see outside as if it had windows?
Had no windows, but they told me where we were going, and I asked them why. And they said because at that time, Earth couldn't monitor. That was the only space they couldn't monitor was behind the moon.
And that makes sense if people know scientifically, line of sight. We have to have satellites behind there to relay the information from behind them.
Are you serious?
That's how I found out the moon doesn't rotate. We never see the backside of the moon from where we're at.
Are you serious?
That too, in itself, is an anomaly that deserves its entire video just on that. But I'm glad you made that, because a lot of people don't stop and think, well, hold on a second, why doesn't the moon rotate when every other moon in our solar system does, just like every planet does?
And they told me, because I asked them why are they taking me there, and they said because Earth can't monitor, they can't see, or radar or whatever the hell we use to, see. And I just, everything they told me, I just accepted because I was kind of out of it. So I just wanted my answers, and that's what they told me.
Did you see anything on the backside of the moon that would maybe like a base or something, or anything that would tell you that there was a reason that that's the place they operate, aside from keeping us from prying eyes?
If we get to that part, you're skipping how I got there.
Okay, let's go back.
Right. So again, I just go ahead and ask the next question.
Yeah, so let's talk. Okay, so you're inside with three other beings, and they tell you they're going to take you to the
Two
back.
other beings.
Two other beings.
I
Three.
was the third.
Yeah, you were the third, and they tell you they're going to take you to the backside of the moon. How
Right.
long did it take to get there, and how did you get there?
They just took off. And the thing about it, I told you there's no windows, but when it moves, it becomes transparent.
That's
so I could
why
see
I
out,
was
so I could-
asking that exactly.
So I could see out of it while it's flying or moving. But the way I explained it, it was like being in an elevator feeling, but going sideways. In elevators, we only go up and down. But it was like going sideways. And it wasn't like they took me there. It was, the feeling was, and the perspective that I saw was the moon came to us. We didn't really fly there. It was just weird. It's just, again, I can't explain things that really don't exist. And that's just, I could just tell you how it felt and how it looked.
There, someone here, Mortimer James. No, Terry Lovelace was the interview I did a couple hours ago. This is Ricky G. There's a question here. It's from Stephen Carna. It says, what was it like flying in the UFO? Was it like a plane ride or something else?
Well, we had no seatbelts. We didn't have nothing. That's why there was no. The feeling I got was like if you go on a plane, you kind of like jerk backwards.
Yeah, and
This was like the opposite. It was like maybe. How do I explain it again? It's hard to explain.
well, if you're jerking backwards because of the inertia and the propulsion pushing you forward, is there?
This one was pulling us from the front.
Wow. Okay. So this actually falls in line to things like Bob Lazar talked about, that the technology that the sport model, for instance, used, instead of having thrust behind a plane to push you forward, which is a reaction, push thrust in the back, the
And-
reaction is push you forward. Essentially, these operate conversely, where they put their propulsion system pointing forward, and that creates that distortion in gravity, and you essentially fall. So that's would explain why you were sucked towards the moon or fell.
That's what it
towards the moon.
seemed. It seemed like that, and it was like, to me, it was like an elevator, but it was going sideways, and no one's ever really experienced a sideways elevator. I would think. I haven't. And again, it got transparent, and then it only took less than 10 seconds.
Wow, that's really fast for a 250,000 miles, or 250. I think it's 250,000 miles. Yeah, quarter of a million miles. There's another question here for you. This is Cashmore Turbo. How did you communicate with these star beings?
At this time, I wasn't communicating with. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, it was. I was using my mouth, but they didn't talk like that. It's what they call telepathy. I didn't figure it out. It took me a minute to understand that and how to figure it out.
When you received telepathic messages, was it in your own voice or someone else's voice?
There's no voices. It's literally like this is really interesting to me. It's literally like, okay, say you're walking up the house and you forget to turn the light off or lock the door. You know that thought that comes in your mind? It's not a voice. It's just you. Oh, I forgot to lock the door. Or I forgot to feed my cat. It was just like that. It's just, it goes in your brain like a thought.
Interesting. That's an interesting way to put it. I've never actually heard it described that way. Now, as you're approaching the moon in this ultra fast trip, 10 seconds, did you start to see anything on the surface of the backside of the moon?
No, I did see it. We kind of went on the side of it, and then we made like a J. We kind of went past it and then turned back around and went in it, went to the back.
Did you land on the surface of the moon?
After we got there, I blacked out again.
Now, at what point did you wake up and have this liquid experience, which is the shocking part that I want everyone to hear?
That's still a few little chapters away.
Okay, so after
go ahead.
you blacked out again and you're on the moon, when you woke back up, what did you experience? And the reason I'm asking is I'm wondering if when you blacked out, did something happen? Did they do something to you?
Yeah, every time I woke up, something woke me up. Like the dogs, me being on my knees, and then me walking in. And this time, Now, I haven't told this story in a long time, so I don't know if I might be off a few times, like in the order wise. So, but as far as I remember, the next thing was they were like holding my wrists and they were walking me somewhere, and I'm terrified of frogs for some reason, and they felt like frogs to me, and I jerked away, and that's the first time I saw them.
Is this the point when, since you felt their skin, which reminded you of a frog, that you wanted to punch them and they gave you an image in their head what would happen if you punched their head?
Yeah, first thing I did was ball my fists up,
Nice.
and I was gonna punch them because I was scared, ridiculously scared, because they were not people. And let's see what happened. I remember looking at them, and I was gonna punch them in the face, and they kind of let me in my mind do it and saw what would happen. And when I punched them, I like went through their whole head, and it was like punching a rotten melon or something. And I was so scared of how their skin felt. I sure in the hell didn't want their insides on me, so I didn't punch them.
There's another question here for you. What were the beings wearing, if anything at all?
Yeah.
Ricky?
I'm sorry, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Uh-oh, don't tell me we lost Ricky. Ricky, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, are you there? Yeah, I had another call.
Oh, no worries. There's a question here for you. What were the beings wearing, if anything at all?
Something dark. Again, I didn't. And how do I explain this? People always assume you're going to just analyze them and look and stare and do it. At this time, as it's going on, I'm not interested in what they're wearing. Wasn't interested in a lot of that stuff. I was just frightened, and I know they had some kind of dark clothing on, and like long sleeve. But again, I can't really start talking about that because I'd be lying. I didn't focus on that. I was just focused on how they looked and how they felt.
Did you experience any emotions from them, or were they just, like emotionless?
A couple of times, like I said, I met 3 different species. So these guys were really aggravated with me. That's why I think it was random, because they sure in the hell wouldn't have picked me because I wanted to kill them.
Yeah, it's good enough reason not to be picked.
Right, you would think. So they were really aggravated with me, and they walked away and left me in this dark ass room. You know what I mean? So
now, can you describe the contents of this dark room?
Everything was kind of like round, like no corners. It wasn't like us at all. They had no pictures. They had no door frames. They didn't have nothing.
Did you see any other humans, or is that not yet?
Not at this time.
So now you said each time something woke you up when you blacked out. Did you ever think that when you were unconscious that they may have injected something into you, or was any of
they do. It's mental stuff. It's like a mental Novocaine and stuff like that. They did everything with your brain.
I see. Okay. Now, next question is what happened after that? So you're obviously woke up again, and you felt their skin, which reminded you of a frog, which you hate, and you balled up your fist, and they showed you what would happen if you punched them, which would be head explode essentially. You didn't want the insides or their guts all over you. What was the next step?
Well, I was kind of looking for somewhere to go because they just left me. You know what I mean? And again, at this time, I didn't know I was on the moon because, I blacked out, and every time it was brand new. So they brought back this dude, this taller guy. And again, I got to say this, the way I controlled my fear was not looking at him. I would look on the ground, because when I looked at him, I was terrified, because like the most I ever looked at him was like a half a second. So when I didn't look at him, I was able to control myself. Like I could defend myself, because that's how they control you, with fear. But they couldn't control me because I wasn't looking at them.
Are we listening to someone who's truthful? Because I'm getting a lot of strange vibes from this story. Like, I almost don't believe it because some of the things he said, like when Dr. J asked him, what kind of clothes were the aliens wearing? He knew instantly he can't answer that in detail because that's something new he'd have to remember maybe in the lie of things. Like he has to remember detailed clothing. So Dr. J goes, so what kind of clothes were the aliens wearing? And he didn't answer. He didn't know what to say. And Dr. J goes, hello? Yeah, what? What? Can you hear me? What? You know? I'm sorry. I had a call coming in. So what were we talking about? The door, the opening of the hatch. What was the next question? You know what I mean? It was like he really skirted that answer or that question. Look, I want to believe. But I've had dreams of seeing aliens. Look, I told you guys the stories. I'm not telling them now, but they seem so real. I thought I actually woke up. Look, in my mind, I woke up. I woke up and saw and heard the things I did. And in my mind, I was awake, but I'm probably woke from a dream. This is so denial, but I don't think it's denial. I have no proof. So do people dream of, this is interesting. Welcome to the show. I just realized what you had commented about. So people who dream, like my dream, I could turn it into a real event. I could say this really happened to me. There was an alien in my room. Another alien another night whispered in my ear. I could easily do that. And the other dreams I had when I was younger, make them reality, have a new book out. Is that what this guy's doing? Or are people really being abducted and the dream scenario is put into their head to make them think it was a dream? That's what Welcome to the Show meant. That's a... Whew. Or is it real?
Now, I knew they were there, like looking at their feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what
Thank you, Stylist.
was the next memory?
They brought this... Oh, this is crazy. They brought this. They walked in, and
thank you for the $1.99 super
they thought I was going to get in some kind of trouble, and they brought this taller being, taller than me. I believe he had like brownish skin. I don't even know if it's skin or whatever. And he looked at them, and he looked at me, and said, "This is the prophet." And I thought they thought that was my name, so I was just going with it. You know what I mean? I just said, "No, I'm not. I'm not." I just went with it. I thought they had the wrong guy. But that's how the older guy introduced me to them, I guess.
The older of the beings.
The taller guy, yeah. So those two guys left. The two little ones left.
Did this taller one look any different, or did it just look like a taller version of the others?
No, he was a whole different species. He had 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head, but he was just different.
Lighter skin.
He was just as ugly.
Ooh, okay. Would you say that this was also a gray type species, or was it more a reptile, or like
he was the leader? They're the leaders.
But
he was the leader of the project that I was involved in.
But was it
those guys? The grays are what I call the delivery guys. They just bring you to where you're going, and then they leave.
Did the leader, was it like a praying mantis type, or what would you say the classification was?
It was just an ugly human kind of thing. It was just, I didn't see any hair. Of course, it was dark. But it's weird, like when I look around and see, you ever see a miner's hat where they got a light on top?
Yes.
They look. That's kind of how I saw. Everywhere I look, I could see. You know what I mean? So, I go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, there's another question in here.
Everywhere I look, I could see. That's it. Everywhere I look, I can see.
Here, and I'm going to add something to it since you kind of did answer it.
Just saying.
From Sasquatch Agency, it reads, did the beings talk? If so, what did their voice sound like? And since you mentioned they spoke telepathically, did they ever make any audible noises at all?
No, nothing. It was...
How convenient. That makes me angry. that makes me super angry. I knew he was going to say no. I was shaking my head no before he answered that question. You want to know why? It's not easy to remember new lies. That's all I'm saying. This is a very strange story. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I may boycott. All right, we're going to go halfway, minimum.
It's a silent world.
Gotcha. Did anything on the ship ever make any noise?
No, he just said it was silent.
Everything was silent.
No, nothing that I remember.
Mm.
No beeping, no nothing like that.
Did the interactions with this ugly leader type ET, were they any different than with the delivery Greys?
He didn't scare me as much. He was cool. He would communicate with me. He explained what was going on. Because I asked him, why am I here? He said, we need to do some, I don't know if the word he said experiments or whatever, but he needed to check up on me. He was checking on things. And I agreed to it as long as he brought me back.
Well, that's another major thing too. The fact that this being was explaining to you obviously shows that he's the leader, and from what I've heard from other people, it's that the gray AI glorified biorobots essentially they never really do, tell you the answers. It's usually the leader of the ship.
Well, I believe if you asked, they would, but most people don't ask.
Are you serious?
But the smaller guys didn't respond. It was just the leader.
Yeah, they was kind of upset with me.
Are you serious?
So what was the first experiment or checking up that the leader performed on you or had performed on you?
Well, again, we're skipping if you want me to go to there.
Oh, no. I'd rather stay in chronological order.
So we kind of walked a while, and he was talking to me, telling me what we have to do. And I agreed with it as long as they didn't hurt me or touch me. And he said, okay. So, yeah, it gets crazy. Then they were taking me to this room. They took me to a room, and then it was like a little small area. And they told me to take off my clothes and go lay down with the rest of them. And so I was in the room by myself. I took off all my clothes, and then something opened up, and I went into the room, and there's like 50 to 75 people laying on the ground.
Or were they all nude as well?
That was a messed up part. Is like I was the only one that followed directions. Like some of them one guy have one sock on, one guy would have a shirt on. They all had something on, but they weren't nude like me.
Was it all males or was it mixed males and females?
So he walks in and goes, "Happy birthday, everybody." Why's that guy's sock on? What's his shirt doing? Why am I nude? The only one? The only one? I love this interview, man. I love this. You know why? Because it's the most unbelievable thing you'll ever hear. That's why I think we're going to jump a little forward to the halfway point. Because I want to.
Fix me. If you know what's wrong with me,
here we go. Oh, this is when he found out that the aliens knew of his death. So this is interesting, actually.
Oh, well, I'm a male, so I had a different procedure done to me.
Yeah. I was going to say that's possibly why you didn't see that same piece of technology.
But they did do something like that to me. But my next, and they told me no doctors will remove my eye to get that, to take it out.
That's right. I think he had cancer.
This is the reason they said this is because
no, I don't know. I can't remember.
Implants had been removed by that time, right?
Oh, an implant.
I have no idea. But it was to dissolve after time.
Oh, they put an implant behind his eye, and over time it'll dissolve. Why is that hard to believe? Don't you think the aliens would have technology that would work for all right, after 30 years, let's dissolve this thing inside this guy's eyeball. Huh? Let's make this mother effer blind. Is that why we go blind? Because they put implants behind our eyes and then they dissolve and our eyes get fuzzy? I think I figured out why we go blind. Ma! Blind meatballs now.
I see. So now what's the next
I hit the play button and he goes, I see. Get it? Never mind.
memory?
Well, I remember they told me they put it in so it can monitor me from space. That's how. And again, that's how they told me, like a little kid, like how I would understand it, like monitoring you from space. I didn't question it. I don't know what they're talking about. And then the next thing they took was like a little tiny piece of skin from my left forearm, the inside of my forearm. It was like so little you couldn't see it. I kept telling them, you didn't get anything. You didn't take anything. And they said, we have enough.
Yeah. If they're looking for DNA, there's plenty in that tiny little scoop. Did you notice after this incident that you had scoop mark in that area?
No. Again, I didn't, when the whole story was up.
I have a theory. I'm interrupting all over. I don't care. You know what scoop marks are? Does anybody want to tell me? I'll tell you what scoop marks are. And you're not going to like it, abductees. You're going to say, I'm crazy. Well, until I know I'm abducted, I don't know. But I think scoop marks are from chicken pox. When you're young, don't itch them, they tell you. You got to scratch them anyway, and you peel some of them off, and they leave that little scoop mark. I know I'm going to get hit in the face. Some of you are punching me right now. I can feel a little bit of punch coming through the screen. Stop. But that's what I think it is. Look, there's no evidence of abductions yet. When that evidence pops up, there's circumstantial evidence, anecdotal, and all of those implants that were pulled out of people. You realize your skin constantly moves, right? You realize that, right? Yeah. So let's say you got something in your shin, or let's say in the top of your knee when you were 10. By the time you're 35, that thing may have moved all the way up to your hip. And now you're like, why do I got this thing? It hurts. And the doctor pulls it out and he says, you got a rock in your ass.
So I didn't remember that part for a long time.
Years.
So I didn't go home and look at my wrist or anything. But the next thing after that was they put like a blanket or a little square towel rag on top of me on my privates, and they took semen from my left testicle. But they just told it what to do, and it was just like...
Your skin is the largest organ on your body, isn't it? Isn't it an organ or muscle? It's the largest of something.
It did it. You know what I mean? They didn't have like scalpels and shit like that. It just did it. That's how I knew these things were thinking. All they had to do is tell her what to do.
Telling it, when you say telling it, I'm assuming telepathically as well, right? Like, because
well,
you said it was...
I don't know how they communicate with the equipment.
But either way, it was still silent as far as auditory.
No speaking at all. Again, it's with them. It's a silent. To me, it was a silent world.
Did they say anything to you or show you anything in your mind after they removed sperm?
No. This is the part that really pissed me off. I said, why are you doing this? What's up with this? And they said, so we can make babies in space. Again, that's how they talked to me. It was like a little kid. So that's what they told me.
There's a comment here, and it's a repeat, and I was asked to relay it to you, so I'm going to. This is from Stephen Carney, and he's, I'm just going to read it.
Steve!
Dr. J, did you see my comment asking to thank this guy for his story and for telling us appreciate it? So I just wanted you to know that.
Stephen Carney visits our show.
People don't talk shit to me or try to make fun of me. I don't mind doing it, but if you can only imagine what I went through for people talking about me and calling me weird and whatever. I'm not into UFOs. It just happened, and that's just my story.
And you're someone that if this didn't happen, my guess is you wouldn't even believe it.
Yeah.
And if you had a chance to take this experience.
Okay, so now I have to be a little bit more on the level with this. So what does this guy have to gain? Other than what he thinks is ridicule. He's not making any money for going on Dr. J Radio Live. He's not writing a book. He's not making a movie. So why would somebody go through this twice? I mean, he interviewed a while back when it happened to him, I guess, with Dr. J. But why go on a radio show and tell people? Why waste everybody's time if it's fake? Well, there are people out there who like to just see if they can get away with it. There's a lot of those out there. But to have all this detail, I could do it. I could do it. And it might be he had this one experience. And Chris said it earlier. People who have real experiences remember everything. At least they think they do. They could answer everything, like what kind of clothes were the aliens wearing, and the guy goes off and didn't answer that one. Says that doesn't hear anything. It's a quiet world, which I find extremely hard to believe. Unless these are robots in space. Because in space, no one can hear you scream. Oh, that was so well done. What a segue.
Way, would you in a heartbeat?
I would never do this again. But retrospect.
I would never do this again. You didn't do it. They did it. All right. He must have misspoke.
Taught me about everything, life, death. Taught me about everything. So it ended up being an incredible educational thing. So in a way, I'm not glad it happened, but I did get something out of it.
As far as perspective on life and death, or...
Yeah. I ended up, some more stuff happened again. They explained the death thing to me, and that was next. I went through the whole semen thing. I was really pissed off at that, and then I passed out again, and I was just laying on a table. For some reason, I was exhausted, like sleeping exhausted, like tired, and I wasn't unconscious. I was just more sleeping, and they were talking to each other. And I could hear them in my brain, and they were talking about how I'm going to die and what's going to happen to me. And I got really pissed, and I stood up, and I said, "Fix me." I kept yelling at them to fix me. If you know what's wrong with me, you can fix me.
This
if you can
part's
bring
good.
me to the moon, you can fix me. And they looked at me like they was like amused that I woke up. And they didn't respond or anything like that. I just got really mad at them.
I would too. It sounds like they knew when you're going to die and of what.
Yes, and they told me that, but I never tell people that because I don't want to make it true.
Yeah.
Why would aliens mess with somebody like that? Why would they do that? And I'll tell you why. Because if you hear what he said, now this has a ring of truth to it. He was out of it, so they thought. But for some reason, he can hear noises, and they were talking about how he's going to die. Like they must have seen what's inside of him, and they know the timetable. Who knows? But it's interesting. How did he hear them talking? And then all of a sudden it goes back when he was awake the whole time. He heard that. See that part? Wait, there was a reason why that was really truthful to me, and I think I forgot. Neither here nor there. But anyway, he's really pissed. He found out that he's going to die, and when he knows. But why would the aliens even have that conversation near him? If there's this brain activity that he could somehow tap into and hear them talking. I don't know.
I don't blame you at all. Now, did they explain the death process? Like what happens after? Are you going to go into an afterlife?
This is where people call me crazy. They let me experience it.
What?
I don't know if they kill me, but I went to where we go. And they brought me back.
What did it look like? What did it feel like?
It was better than here.
Of course.
I didn't want to come back. You know what I mean? You get to see people you love that you don't even know you love. I don't want to say people because it isn't people, Nobody has flesh or anything like that.
Spirits.
It's called home.
Gotcha.
We go back home.
That's actually very reminiscent to the near-death experience I had. I felt at home, and I loved everybody that was there. And the interesting part was I was interacting with someone that had been dead since the late 80s, and I don't think I even thought about him since he passed away, because he really had no particular significance in my life other than being a friend of my father. Regardless, it sounds very similar in that sense, except
Well, my experience was I didn't meet anybody that I knew that had died. Mine was people who were gone generations that still loved me. Again, that's unexplainable. So
ancestors
I
or
was
something like that.
I was loved immediately. I was surrounded and loved by people I didn't even know I love or loved me.
Let me tell you something. See, to me, never mind. It's not about me.
Or even existed.
When you came back from this experience, did you
Look, when I had that dream, when I kept talking about wanting to find out what death was a year or so ago, anyway, I had that story I was telling you about. Now I keep thinking I'm hearing somebody walking down the hallway. And that would be impossible. What'd I say? When I had those dreams, and that one dream where I was going up where I thought I died in my sleep, and I was going towards the ceiling, and my hands went through the ceiling, and I felt all this love, and I looked back on my wife at the time and the dog on the bed, and I'm like, I don't even care about them anymore. It was a weird feeling. Like, I don't even love my dog or this woman. I said this woman because I was being pulled into a place that was like unlike anything I could ever imagine. It was like I was being showed the afterlife in my dream. That when you die, don't worry, this is this life. And I know that sounds so corny. See, I could make up a whole entire interview about my dreams and call them reality. That's what I think people are doing. I think they had this experience, but it's dreams. I'm telling you, it was the same exact thing. Anyway.
say anything to them?
But he believed it. He believed he had this experience, so that's what we're left with.
What did you do to me or anything like that?
It was just comforting. That's why they did it. That's how they answered my questions.
That's what the afterlife is like.
By letting me experience it. So I was asking them, fix me, and they basically showed me that death is not a bad thing.
What was the next procedure or memory?
I got to think about this one. Okay, I went to. Oh yeah, I was walking with that tall guy again. I was out of the medical situation. There might be more stuff I'm forgetting about because I haven't told the story in a very long time. But the next recollection I remember was walking with that guy again in some kind of like hallway. I don't know if it's a hallway, but we were walking straight. And they like I say, how they answer your questions, how they answered my questions was showing me. And the first thing I asked was about my semen. I asked him about the babies in space. And as I'm asking him, he's taken me and showed me, went into this room with these two little kids. They were like 9, 10, a male and a female. And they were sitting down at something. And as I was asking them about babies in space, he showed me them. And these ones were born in space. And I instantly thought they were like me. They were taken and they were somewhere where they didn't want to be. But when they looked at me, they didn't scream for help. They didn't panic. They just looked at me. So I knew they weren't abducted.
Did they look just like a typical baby, or was their skin lighter?
No, they was humans. They was born in space.
I see. Now, because they were born in space, I'm guessing they belong to the ETs. They're going to be the ones that raise them.
Yeah, but again, they weren't scared to be there. You know what I mean? I hated at the time being there, but these guys were not even panicking. They weren't asking me for help. They weren't doing nothing. They didn't say nothing. They just pretty much answered my question by showing me babies in space.
Well, I
They
would
were born in
imagine
space.
if they were born there and that's all they knew is home, then they wouldn't be really fearing because they wouldn't have much to compare it to.
Right. And they had a job. They were actually doing something.
What would you say they were doing, or what did you think they were doing?
I don't know. They were sitting at like they were sitting down with their backs towards me. When I came in, they turned around and looked at me. But there was, I don't want to say it was a computer board, but it was like a flat black table. Like, I don't know what they were doing.
Now, what was the next memory?
Let me see. Okay, I'm sure I'm skipping some parts. It's a pretty long story. I asked them about the babies from space. Oh, and in my brain, I'm thinking, oh, how are these guys eating? You know what I mean? And in my brain, first of all, I liked this guy. It was the taller guy. I liked him, but I didn't want to let him know that I thought he was ugly. But he knew what I was thinking, so he knew I thought they were ugly. But he wasn't tripping at all. He wasn't like, he didn't get offended or anything like that. So I started thinking in my brain, how are they feeding this guy? And it was funny because in my brain, I imagined one of the alien guys with a chef hat barbecue. I'm like, how are they feeding them? What do they eat? And as I'm thinking it, he walks me into this room with a big old cow. There was a cow hanging butt in the air,
Mm-hmm.
and head down, and he was dead. And that's when I really panicked because I think, oh shit, this is the end. They're gonna kill me. But this is from what I assumed or what they told me. They grabbed it and they dipped it into some kind of liquid, and they pulled it up, and it was like the inside, like it was cut on the stomach part, like by the butt. It was just kind of like not mutilated, but it was just dead, and they did something to it. And I believe what they did was took its reproduction organs and stuff like that, and they make their own cows in space too. And they were saying something that's their protein and stuff. That's how they feed them, because I was asking about that.
That's very
Stuff like that.
interesting. Would you say that is the reason why there are so many cattle mutilations and just cattle in general taken?
I have no idea, but that's just what I saw. And it was weird because, okay, say you get a bathtub, and you fill it up, and you dip like something in it, it's going to overflow, correct?
Yes.
This didn't overflow. It just went in there, and it came out, and it was jacked up, and I thought it was going to kill me. So I was really mad.
There's a question here for you. This is from Prince Vegetason. Did you ever smell anything?
Yeah, it stunk.
Like,
especially where all the people were.
That's what I was gonna say. Did it stink because of their sweat, or was there anything else that stunk? Like, did the ETs stink?
No, I didn't trip off that, but when I went into the room with all the people, that stunk, and it was dirty. It was like a dirty area. So I don't know if people were shitting on the ground, pissing everywhere.
Probably all of the above.
It just stunk. Not where I plugged my nose. I just noticed it was bad. It was like a stenchy area.
Here's another one for you. Cassandra GA says, cow, question marks. I was going to ask if you knew why. I asked that earlier. If they using cow DNA for food for captives.
That's what I took it, because I asked that question. How are you feeding? I didn't ask it. I was thinking, how are they feeding these two kids? If they have more, how are they eating? And that's what they showed me. And as far as I know, they can grow vegetation, carrots and stuff like that. That they don't have to duck a carrot. You know what I mean? They could just grow their own whatever. And vegetables will feed the cows too. So it was just interesting. Everything they do is simple. It's not.
Question. Put it in the chat room. Do you think Bigfoot gets abducted? That is a hell of a question. I don't think anybody's ever asked that question that I've ever heard. Aliens get all the protein they need from the sea, and nobody is any the wiser. True. They would just get it from the sea. Very strange. I wonder if Bigfoot is abducted. No aliens can find Bigfoot either. Right. That's what we say, William. Bigfoot is a type of alien species. Is he, her, they, she, we, them? IR Film says, nope, he does the abducting, as we found out with that guy, Alex, on Dark Hour Paranormal, who was abducted by Bigfoot. Go listen to that show on Dark Hour. John Holmes? I bet he did. Truth Seeker, Bigfoot, that's crazy. Now go back to the probing. Huh? Why would you say such a thing? The aliens have been overfishing, and here we are blaming Asia. But they are in Asia. It's not. It's too many people. In the last 50 years, the population of the Earth has doubled. In the United States, I think we had 158 million people. We've doubled. Still not a lot of people for all this land. And in the last 30 to 40 years, births have gone down a lot. I don't know the number on that. Anyway, I think they put Bigfoot here to watch us, Iceman Gambino. To watch us, maybe. I don't know about that one. See, it bothers me. Bigfoot. Wait, hold on. Bigfoot is for sure an alien. Okay. I would have to agree with that. I'm reading the chat room. I'm trying to be more involved. There have been accounts of, but when I watch other people do their shows and they're sitting there looking at the chat room, I'm like, come on, dude, come on, get it over. That's why I don't do it. That's why it's very hard for me to focus on the chat room. It's either I focus on the chat room and make it the show, or we have no show, or what am I saying? There's either a show that I put on or there isn't, or it's a chat room show. That's what I'm trying to say. What's this? That was a really good interview between Michael and Alex. If you have not already checked it out on Dark Hour Paranormal, you definitely should check it out when GUFON is over. Absolutely. All right. Bigfoot is their muscleon? Oh, Bigfoot is their muscle on Earth. Okay, got it. If Earth could fit in Texas, all the people in the world can actually fit in the state of Texas. True story. And they'd get half an acre. Earth is nowhere near its carrying capacity. Yes and no. Then why are 60% in the last 50 years, 60% of the Earth's oceans have been depleted? I just watched 2 documentaries about the Earth, all the trees. Madagascar is almost gone. I mean, it's crazy what we did to all the trees over there. I can't believe we took all them trees. And only 7% of the redwoods left. For 7.8 billion people, you don't think we're pushing this planet to the limit? You think there's that much food in the ocean? These guys are having trouble getting crabs. That's why they stopped the all-you-can-eat. See, this is why I wasn't going to talk. All right, back to the abduction guy.
Complicated.
Good comments, guys.
And I asked him about
Gals.
that. And how they get so smart and stuff like that. And they were saying they're not smarter than us; they're older than us. So
That's interesting.
they're like millions and millions of years old. Us as humans, we have gaps for some reason. The Egyptians and cowboys and cavemen, there's gaps, and we never really survived constantly for millions of years
Cowboys
like they have. And they're just.
You're comparing the Egyptians with cowboys? I think I get it, though. I think I get it. Sorry, I won't interrupt now. We're going to let this ride out.
Older than us. They're no smarter than us.
Cassandra G has another question. They leave most carcasses because they would stink up ship. She's talking about the cows.
That's a good question. You know, I didn't ask about that. And I remember telling him, this is fucked up. I go, what you guys are doing is fucked up. And he says, what's the difference between you and I? And then he let me understand. This is literally what he told me. He goes, what do you think a tiger thinks when he hears thunder in the air? And then he looks up and sees a big metal object flying. And then the next thing he feels is a pain in his hip. And then the next thing is he can't control. All he can do is see. And then humans come out of this big metal object, and then they take semen, they take blood, they take teeth, they take, they basically let me know we do the same thing to other animals and species. So what's the difference between them?
Because they're on our planet. We're not going to another species, another planet. They're maybe coming from another planet. That's a little different than us trying to figure out how the tigers and lions live. I'm sorry. I don't know why I interrupted. I forgot.
Ooh, that's a very good point. They're literally throwing it back at humanity.
Right. And they said we are worse because we kill.
That's very true.
We will kill other species. So if they're bad, what are we?
I love that answer that they throw it back at you.
Yeah.
Here's let's see more.
And I said I go, you're right.
Couple questions here in the chat, and I know you have to go soon, so I'll try to do my best to wrap.
I'm all right because I'm supposed to go to dinner, but until my wife opens the door and asks how much longer I'm okay. I don't mind answering questions. Nobody's being rude, or at least you're not reading any of the rude ones.
Yeah, and they're not. That's the best part about them. Okay, so Stargate Traveler wants to know: do they have bathrooms?
Stargate Traveler.
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things. Do they have cafeterias? You know what I mean? Where do they go on break? Do they eat? But through my life, I kind of figured out a lot of stuff like that. But I just came up with my own ideas, and from what they kind of told me. And again, if I could do it all over again, I would ask those questions. And I did ask about God, and because it was weird, because most people's gods just doesn't coexist with what they believe. But they just told me one God, one love, one creator. That was their answer to me.
Now, okay, so essentially they do believe in a sentient being.
I don't know. That's just what I asked. I didn't go no further. I don't think they go to church and pray or anything.
Yeah. I would imagine it would be something completely different. Maybe just spiritual within their own thoughts, as opposed to a being, a place, a location.
And that's what I learned from them, is never to question God. Because I don't believe in the religious God. I don't believe in the Bible God.
Gotcha. Let me get a couple here that I'm seeing pile in. This is Dark Hour Paranormal, my good friend and fellow magician. Actually, I can't even call myself a magician. I'm such a novice. He is the pro. Michael asks, are these beings in any way an offshoot of our own evolution, merely on a different branch?
Man, it's a trip how I was told. It's like, it's confusing to me. It's like there are, how do I explain this? I don't want to say that from the future or whatever, but if we don't survive, they don't survive. They won't exist, but they already exist. So they kind of keeping us, our species alive, I guess. So if we go extinct, they go extinct. So it's like they're kind of keeping us alive so they don't go extinct, which I don't understand.
Well, it does kind of make sense that that would be time travelers possibly on a different timeline. Dr. Dan Burrish
Well,
explained this,
here's
but
an
in a
example.
weird way.
Here's an example. Say we could do that, and we went back to George Washington days.
Hmm.
And if those humans were to exist, we wouldn't exist. So we would have to make sure they don't get extinct. So even though we still are here, you need help? You okay? And again, I can't explain that part.
Okay, more for you. Cassandra GA, are we the trailer park of solar system?
We're really bad.
Okay.
We're really bad.
Rockstar asks,
Are
when
you
were on the dark
serious?
side of the moon, could you see outside?
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Like windows or something?
Yeah. Was it still transparent? And if so,
No. They took me into like a building.
Are
or
you
something.
serious?
It was weird. Okay, imagine a skyscraper here,
okay.
but with no levels, like no second floor, no 80th
Are you
floor,
serious?
just the bottom and the top. It was just very high.
That's weird.
Yeah, you couldn't see the top.
It was that tall?
Yeah, it was like almost like a skyscraper, I would suppose,
So
but not.
is it safe to say that there is at least an alien base, if not an entire city, on the dark side of the moon?
It's been since the 80s. So hold on one moment. There's somebody in. You got it? Oh, what the heck that is? Give me a second.
No problem. In the meantime, I'm going through a couple of these questions so I can have them ready. I hope you guys are really enjoying this because, like I said, this is an exclusive.
Yeah, and like I said, it was just like tall. It was like the roof was super, super high. I don't know why. Even
Super
if the room was
generoso.
like a bedroom, it was just super high,
So
super tall.
all those people that pull and the medical experiments were done inside the building, but not necessarily inside the craft, right?
Yeah, the craft was my only experience, was just taking me there. Then they took me to some, again, I didn't see a building. I was just automatically in something.
Did you think you were underground at all, or just in a building above ground?
I couldn't tell you. And after a while, I wanted to go with them. I started thinking, man, can they take me where they live? And they told me for them to go the speed to keep me alive, it would take over 20,000 years to keep where they're going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of startling, because if they brought you there in 10 seconds, I'm wondering what would be the difference if you're enveloped in gravity inside of a craft, that if you can create gravity, well, then by default, you can create an Einstein-Rosen bridge, aka a wormhole, which would mean that instead of traveling from point A to B in a straight line, you would bring point B close to you and essentially walk in through one door and...
All right. Well, I think we got the gist of it. This guy had an incredible experience. In his mind, he was abducted, went to the moon with aliens, talked with them telepathically. What did we learn? I don't know. But there's so many of these stories out there, and you just have to sit back and go, what? Huh? What is going on now with my thing? There's an issue. StreamYard. Why is this here? I don't understand why I'm having that in my chat, on my chat. Upload background. Let's go back here and see what I did. All right. We already got that. There we go. You know, all of these people have these experiences And I know there's somebody who used to come to the show every day, Pat Walker, and it gets angry when people talk about the abductions not being real because he's had them and he knows what it's like. And he swears to God in every fiber of his body that he was abducted. And many other people I've spoken with over the years. I mean, you could go back to Betty and Barney Hill and listen to their, when they were regressed, hypnotically regressed. And you can judge for yourself whether or not that abduction really took place. And I think it was Betty, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't she the one who drew the gray alien? I know she gave us like some star system in the Zeta Reticuli area or something like that, right? Before it was found by astronomers. You could have drawn just about any star system on a piece of paper, and eventually you would find it. I mean, that's just the way the stars are. You get all different shapes and sizes, and there's trillions of them. You're bound to see two big stars and a little star and whatever else was around. I'm not really buying it. So what happened to Betty and Barney Hill? I don't know. Dr. Greer thinks it's us. It's our own government abducting people. By the way, Sheehan, the lawyer, you know, the guy with the hair? Let's talk about this right now. Thank you, Dr. J Radio Live, for allowing me to play that interview in almost its entirety. But I think we just kept hearing the same stuff being repeated there. But thank you very much. So Sheehan was in Greer's movie, The Cosmic Hoax, right? And the way Sheehan was edited into that documentary made it seem like he agreed with what Greer was saying about Elizondo and Christopher Mullen, that they think that this is all about a false flag alien invasion. It is not. And Sheehan did not. He had to put out a statement. I couldn't believe it. Here it is. Look at this. I'll read it very quickly. Unbelievable. I'll read it quickly. On April 24th, April 24th of this year, in my capacity as the 2001 General Counsel to the May 10th, 2001 Disclosure Project event at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., I attended in Scottsdale, Arizona, the 20th anniversary gathering of many of the principals who organized that 2001 event. At that time, I granted an interview reflecting on the quote-unquote progress that I believed had been made since 2001 in bringing forward, quote-unquote, the cause of getting our American public and our American policymakers to, quote-unquote, take seriously the fact that UFOs are real, and that the most probable origin of many of these UFOs is indeed some extraterrestrial planet, very likely from elsewhere in our own Milky Way galaxy. During that interview, I was asked if I believed that there existed some extra-constitutional, quote-unquote, group of people who possessed a substantial amount of information about these UFOs and about the likelihood that the origin of many of these UFOs was extraterrestrial. I responded by providing a lengthy explanation of why I believe that there has been and still presently is indeed such an extra-constitutional group restricting access to this knowledge. I explained further that I suspected that it was likely the members of the same group were responsible for secreting other important information and activities from our American people and from our democratically elected congressional and executive branch officials. Unfortunately, this portion of my interview was extracted from what I understood to have been a 20th anniversary documentary about the 2001 disclosure event, and it was inserted into a documentary film dedicated to promulgating what I expressly stated in that interview was, in my judgment, an incorrect theory on the part of Dr. Stephen Greer, the founder of the Disclosure Project, with which I most emphatically disagreed. What Greer did was take a portion of the interview from 2001, edited it, not Greer, but had it edited, and put into the cosmic hoax and taken out of context that Sheehan, believed in what Greer was saying when it wasn't. He didn't and doesn't. This is terrible. Just terrible. This is something that Corey Goode would have done. Actually, David Wilcock did it to Linda Moulton Howdy Doody. Similar, but different. God almighty. This is just awful. Took it out of context. He thought it was going to be in an anniversary edition for the Disclosure Project, and it was put into Cosmic Hoax. Greer, what have you done? Unreal. Hey, he's a lawyer, Sheehan, whatever. If Lou had Sheehan's hair, he would be Curly Lou. Just saying. All right, back to this because we're almost done. This gets interesting. Moreover, that portion of my 20th anniversary interview in which I criticized what I believe to be an unconstitutional cabal, as I referred to it, was spliced into the midst of a later recorded interview of Dr. Greer, in which Dr. Greer was aggressively attacking Mr. Elizondo, the former director of, whatever, authorized NATIP and all that, whom I happen to legally represent, and attacking Mr. Chris Mellon, the former entirely constitutionally authorized Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence for both President Clinton and President George Bush. Chris Mellon being a man whom I personally greatly respect for the courage he has displayed in joining with my client Lou Elizondo to move forward the strategic objective of revealing government information, authoritatively verifying A, that a significant percentage of the reliably reported sightings of UFOs over the past decade are, in fact, real physical vehicles, and B, that the most likely origin of these real UFOs is extraterrestrial. I am issuing this official public statement to make it unequivocally clear that I do not agree with Dr. Stephen Greer's theory that the recent confirmation by our U.S. Defense Department that a clear majority of the 2004 to 2017 reports of UFOs are real physical vehicles is part of some secret plan on the part of the national security state bureaucracy to stage some imminent false flag fake alien invasion. Nor do I agree with Dr. Stephen Greer's public assertions that either Lou Elizondo or Chris Mellon are part of any such covert plan. I, instead, am firmly convinced that both Lou Elizondo and Chris Mellon are engaged in an entirely good faith effort to expose the fact that some members of our United States government are in possession of information that reveals not only that UFOs are real, but that the significant majority of the experts within our United States government who are briefed in on any significant portion of the information that our government agencies possess regarding the UFO or UAP phenomenon hold a good faith and well-founded belief that a substantial portion of the reliability reported sightings are UFOs are indeed off-world vehicles of an extraterrestrial origin. And I expressly stated my disagreement with Dr. Greer's representations to the contrary in my April 24th interview. But the statement was edited out of my interview. And what I said about the cabal, that is, secreting this information, was inserted into Dr. Greer's attack on Lou Elizondo and Chris Mellon that made it look like I was attributing them some role in Dr. Greer's projected planned fake alien invasion. I want it made clear that I am expressly publicly disagreeing with Dr. Greer's characterization of Luis Elizondo and Christopher Mellon. And I am publicly stating that my statements on April 24th, 2021, made about an entirely different unconstitutional cabal were placed out of context in the documentary film entitled The Great Hoax, which gave the false impression that I was indicating that I believed that my own client, Lou Elizondo, as well as Mr. Mellon, were privy to and part of such an unconstitutional conspiracy. They are not. God almighty, I'm dizzy. So Greer took a statement made for the what Sheehan thought was a 20th anniversary interview, took that interview, spliced it into the cosmic hoax, and made it seem like he believed in what Greer was saying, that this is all part of a false flag alien invasion by our government. That's amazing. That's I can't wait to find out what Greer has to say something. See, it's never ending in this field. No matter how big or how small, how insignificant or significant you are, people are going to talk. People are going to cheat, steal, lie. That's this field. It's full of information with disinformation based on lies and half-truths. How do you know who's telling the truth? How do you trust anybody in this field when you're finding out that these adults, these people that we are supposed to believe know more than we do, which I believe they do not, that they are just as childish as everybody else in the field? This is unbelievable. Really. I mean, that is a significant statement that Sheehan put out, because everybody was talking how Sheehan is on Greer's side and he's also on Elizondo's side. How does he ride that pole? How does he stay balanced? Well, obviously, that's over. Unless they're keeping a business relationship, I don't know. But all I know is this. What Sheehan said was taken out of context and put into this documentary, and he's pissed. Until further notice, we'll find out what happens with that story. To me, now, did Greer know? Well, you'd have to say, how could he not? Doesn't he watch what's being put into his documentary? Let me tell you this, Greer won't even put a microphone on, because when I went to put a microphone, I gave him the microphone, told him, yeah. He goes, I don't do that. So I had to put the microphone on him. Then Doc had to redo it. I don't know why. Some sort of power trip, I guess. The microphone was under, but Greer talks loud. I didn't want it to be overbearing on the microphone. And it wasn't anyway, but nonetheless, that's the microphone story. So Greer's not going to put a microphone on. You think he's going to get on an editor and sit there and edit for 50 hours? But I would think Greer had to have watched that and didn't even think twice. He might not have even heard. And I find it hard to believe. His name is on it. He's responsible. Sheehan could, I don't know, man. That's some shit right there. That's some shit in the UFO field. It was put on Twitter. Somebody said, does anyone think Greer's cosmic hoax has been shadow banned? There has been some difficulty with watching the documentary from what I see. And Greer sent everybody, including myself, how to access cosmic hoax. He says many people from around the world have reported having trouble accessing the cosmic hoax via YouTube. In some places, they're asked for ID and or a credit card. others are seeing notices warning them of the content. The barriers to entry seem to come and go and are not consistent. This is YouTube putting up notices, not us. The film is up on several blockchain sites where you can watch or download it for free without YouTube interference, and then he gives the links. It's pretty amazing. I had no problem finding that, but that was the first day. You know, then YouTube's algorithm picks it up and they hear, you know, COVID, and then they hear 9/11. And then the algorithm goes, Greer, shadow ban, make it hard to watch this. What a world this freaking life. I mean, this is, why do you got to do this shit, man? Why can't people just do things right? There are people who do things right, but it always seems to be the same people doing shit wrong. I don't know, man. But there's, I got to let you hear something. This is, you know, the guy who contacts aliens, the channeler, righty? Then that guy, he did the dolphin, whatever he did. Remember Daniel Scranton? Remember? Let me pull it up real quick. Because we have another one that was sent to me. I haven't listened to it yet. I almost listened to it and I didn't. This guy, listen. That guy. So now we got somebody else who's come into the picture. I'm just going to play it. I have no idea what I'm in for. What did I do with it? Where? Here it is.
My mind or actual channeled information?
Yes. Well, in a sense, and this is also somewhat what we were tapping into, this idea that all of it is you and that there is really no separation between you and other beings.
Take a look.
Through writing. It's hard to know if this is me in my mind or actual channeled information.
Yes. Well, in a sense, and this is also somewhat what we were tapping into, this idea that all of it is you and that there is really no separation between you and other beings.
Certainly not as entertaining. Let's try something here. I can go another 20.
When you fully allow yourself to embody this and to know you put yourself into this state somewhat, and you allow whatever information that wants to come true to come true. And like in this exercise of accessing your inner sight,
it's connecting with Hyla. Let's see if there's anything interesting. Let's see how I don't know how she gets into it. Oh. Oh, okay.
the kind of gratitude that it fills you up Gratitude.
Sounds like a song. The kind of gratitude that fills you up. The kind of gratitude that fills you out. Takes you to the moon when you really don't know. Takes that gratitude right to the phone. I call my ma. I call my pa. But they're not home. Yeah, come on, everybody. I got your gratitude. Do, do, do. You don't know if you're going to the moon. Come on, girl. Ooh.
It allows you to center.
It's a Lord, it's the Santa going to the moon.
Allows you to observe.
Allows you to observe going into the sky.
To refill.
Go, girl. She's got one of those metronomes going in the back.
To accept. To go along with the stream.
Why do things come in waves? Right? Why do the messages come in waves? To go along with the stream. And then they sit there. And then now they're thinking of new shit to say. You know, I want somebody who is actually channeling to channel like a real channeler should. And a real channeler should do it a certain way, I believe. I don't believe this is real. But I believe if there was a real channeler, it would probably be like information overload. Like it would just keep coming and coming and coming on the information highway. Like you can't keep up with it. There's just so much information because there's no governor on it. You think the guy that they're channeling 2 billion light years away is sitting there going, I don't know how long this connection's going to last. It'll last forever. Let's just give it to him every 5 seconds. So we're going to go to the moon. They're going to go to the moon. And we're going to go look for scheelite and other rocks. They're going to look for scheelite, other rocks. And then we're going to abduct your ass and put you in a blender and have you for dinner at Gush all over America. But I'm in Italy. I don't know what that means. Man, I'm just spitballing. That's all we're doing here. All right. We're done with her. Come on. Give me one more, Screen. He's a beautiful man. That's what UFO Jesus is doing right now. That's UFO Jesus. It could be his older brother. Right? I wonder what UFO Jesus has been up to. Let's take a look. Nice to see. I don't know if anything new came out. Nothing. 2 weeks ago. Mod on. Oh, that was when he had the cricket? Or what did he have on his microphone there? He had the cockroach was on the microphone. He never responded to me on that. I asked about that. I'm like, what did you see it? Did you know it was there? I need to know. Did you eat it? Did it crawl in your hair? Where did that cockroach go? Why am I yelling? Huh? Oh.
Are you serious?
No.
Are you serious?
Uh-uh.
Are you serious?
I am not serious. Not. This is ufology. All right, guys, let's get out of here. I went a little long tonight. Didn't mean to. Everybody went to the other show. It's time to go when that happens. So Sunday, guys, 3 hours earlier, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's the show. All next week. All next week. And I can't thank Super Chatters enough for tonight. That was freaking crazy. Phenomenal. And thank you, moderators, keeping this thing going. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys just giving me a chance to get over this illness thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're good. We're good. Sunday, we'll be doing the giveaway. So be back then. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, Sunday. And thank you, newcomers and veterans alike. All I ask is a few minutes of your time. Give the show 15 minutes. You like it, you come back, you subscribe, you like it, and then you share it. Wow, what's wrong with that? You share it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. I did. Thank you, Dr. J, Radio Live. Great interview. We'll be back on Sunday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And if you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. Have a nice weekend. See you on Third Phase UFO Report. I forgot something. I have something else to play. God, I'm such a dick. Such a dick. It's not going to sound great, but what a dick. I'm a dick. I hate forgetting shit. Hate it. Hate it. Violently hate it. Seriously. I am. And I don't know why I'm forgetting. There's a lot of shit I got to try to remember. It's not that easy. All right. So, hold on. I did it again. I have to do this because this is what we do for each other. And I totally forgot again. Cosmic Cowboy, Third Phase of Moon. Links are in the description. Good night, everybody.
Lying way between the folds, where realities melt, where light and dark don't oppose. This is the realm that I lead, and as with everything, none is mine, but I traverse the skies, forging avenues the course may never be followed. Way back home, a cosmic traveler. The way back home, a cosmic cowboy. The way back home. I'll be the first to see what hides between the lines. More than what we thought, life can never be the same. Beyond horizons guard, into the fabric of time. Don't need a way back home. The stars a chandelier, no interruption of rhyme. Don't need a way back home. Lying way between the poles, where reality melts, light and dark don't oppose. This is the realm that I lead, and as with everything, none is mine, but I traverse the skies, forging avenues that course may never be. Oh, oh, oh.
Third Phase of Moon, Cosmic Cowboy, available right now on iTunes and all streaming audio platforms, including the exclusive Third Phase of Moon Cosmic Cowboy merch. The store is open. The links are below. Support the channel. Download the single Cosmic Cowboy right now and get your merch. Third Phase of Moon Cosmic Cowboy. The links are below.